So, you want to save a lot of money? Maybe it's something that you've never managed before. Does $10,000 sound about right to you? If this is the figure you are aiming for to save, know that this is not going to be easy, but it is well within your reach. For those who have already gotten into the habit of saving, this is a short-term achievable goal, but for those who have never managed to get into the habit of saving, you will need some steps to ensure you can save this amount. Does that mean if you haven't been very good at saving that you might not be able to save $10,000 now? Of course not. It simply means you are going to have to try to take some of our suggestions away in this video for exactly how to do that. The number itself is large, so it's always important to think of it this way. Over time, a little can become a lot. If you follow the steps as closely and as regularly as possible that we are going to suggest, well then before you know it, you may even surpass your initial goal of saving $10,000. What we're saying right now is if you can do this, and we know you can, then the sky is the limit. Number 6, save on electricity. There is no way to avoid paying no bills. However, you can reduce your bills, and one of the easiest ways to reduce them would be the electricity bill. There are many energy-saving methods you can implement to see a decrease in your next electricity bill. When washing clothes, try to do full loads. Doing one full load for the week versus 3 smaller loads will allow you to save both time as well as money. You can also use the cold water where possible to save on energy. For the items you do not need to use urgently, consider hanging some loads during the week out to dry, which will help to prevent overuse of your dryer. Install smart power strips that help to control standby power, as this is a major source of energy waste. It is estimated that more than half of the total power being generated by the average household is being wasted this way. Smart power strips switch off the power to electronics when they are not in use. Try to manage and maintain your thermostat to ensure you have a more energy efficient household. Make use of your microwave more often if possible instead of your stove. There is some evidence that supports the idea that microwaves are more efficient than stoves when it comes to reheating. Though a microwave does use electricity, it does so in short bursts for a short period result overall and less power being used. Adding these energy-saving measures to your routine will help you save a lot more money faster and ensure you also do some good for the environment. Number 5, term life insurance. If you initially took out a whole life insurance plan, one option is to now switch to term life insurance. This is a policy you take out with an insurance company that will apply in the event that something happens to you where you will no longer be able to provide for your family. Whole life insurance is a very hefty price to pay at the end of the day, and it does not provide a significant amount of coverage when compared to term life insurance. Although some people treat insurance as an investment, be sure that you can separate the two. Insurance has a specific function in your life, and the best deal would be to get a long-term life insurance policy that will ensure your family has good coverage if they ever need it. You could potentially be saving hundreds of dollars instantly by simply switching plans, which will help save your $10,000 even faster. If you already have a whole life insurance policy, be sure to cancel it and cash it out before you set up your term life insurance policy. Number 4, change your diet. You are going to first have to change many aspects of your lifestyle if you want to get to your goal of saving $10,000 as fast as possible. One of those things will be changing your diet, how and what exactly that you eat. Of course, we aren't by any means suggesting that you forego nutritious food that is also good for your physical and mental health. However, surely compromises can be made in terms of the kinds of purchases you make to benefit yourself financially. Try to eat out less or not at all, and make full use of the kitchen even if you aren't a great cook. Now is the time to hone your cooking skills as much as you can. This will allow you to slash the cost of eating by a significant amount, as the cost of one night out at a restaurant could probably support your cooking your food for more than a few days. Another important thing to consider is when you go to the grocery store, pay closer attention to generic products that offer the same thing you are looking for at a cheaper price. Buy items that you will use and not anything that you purchase only for it to be spoiled later in the fridge. You know your likes and dislikes best, so you can make the right decision in terms of realistically what you will eat at home. Still, try to stick to the basics and don't get too carried away. You can walk with a list to ensure you do not stray and purchase items you don't even need at this time. The list is now your best friend. Write the list, read the list, love the list. Number 3, start your hustle. Do you have a special talent or skill you have never really made use of? If so, now might be the time to consider seriously adding this talent as a side hustle or something that will help to supplement your current income from your main job. This can be almost anything that you can think of. We also advise trying to think outside of the box, brainstorm ideas as much as you can, and even after you've thought of something, try to work on how you can put your special personal touch on things to differentiate yourself from the crowd. Maybe you're good at designing or decorating. Maybe you love to bake and tend to be a stickler for traditional recipes. Maybe you want to add your flair to something that has been done for decades before. Whatever it is, sell, sell, sell. You are essentially selling yourself in that you are asking others to trust that you can deliver on what you promised. Once you are who you say you are and your product or service is of good quality, you will be able to at least make some additional cash that can maybe go directly to your savings fund. Number 2, freeze spending. Now, it's understood that spending is an inevitable part of life. Without spending money, we would not be able to get the things that we want or need. However, a spending freeze requires you to be extremely selective in your purchases for a certain time. If this task seems too difficult, we recommend giving it an honest try for at least 1 week. If at the end of the week you have succeeded, we recommend continuing the process for the next 3 weeks to freeze spending for at least 30 days. You will have to commit to only spending on things such as bills and bare necessities for groceries. This will help you to understand how much money you have been spending on things that you do not need. Try to come up with creative and innovative solutions where you can avoid extra spending. Be sure to mentally prepare yourself to refrain from spending on anything but the essentials. Even for the necessities, try to decide on exactly what those entail and try not to add anything after your spending freeze has started. Don't be afraid of letting someone else know, like a close friend or family member, about your plan, as this person can help hold you accountable. Once they are aware, you may be more likely to complete your freeze since you know you have someone to answer to and you care what the other person thinks about you and you would not want to disappoint them. This friend or relative should check in periodically with you to find out how you progress. Another option would be to start the freeze at the same time you know someone else is doing it. It may be easier to complete since you know someone else is also making similar sacrifices, and you won't feel like you are the only one making a major shift in how you spend money for the month. At the end of the month, if your freeze has been successful, you will save a lot of cash that you can then put towards your $10,000. From that point, you can decide if you want to continue or take a break and start another freeze at a later point. Regardless, this step will only work to your advantage as long as you stick to it. Number 1, automate savings. Some people find it very difficult to put aside money even if it's for their good. If this has been an issue for you in the past, automating your savings might be the next best thing for you. The reason this works so well is that it solves a problem your brain is often presented with. This is called the present bias. Most humans are inclined to seek self-satisfaction. One of the ways this becomes a problem is when you are faced with the option to either spend or save your money. More often than not, you will make the decision that benefits you at the present moment. We are biased towards our present self, and this makes us more inclined to consider only our current wants. If the option is very far in the future, the less important it seems to your present self. Automated saving solves the problem by removing the option of making the wrong choice. There are different ways that you can do this in your life to try and save more towards your $10,000 goal. One option is, if you have a direct deposit option, you can decide to switch your income between checkings and savings. Your savings account should be untouched and you don't have to move a finger to ensure that consistent deposits are made, while you can use your checkings for regular expenses without having to worry about tapping into your savings. You can also try to set up automatic deposits into your savings account, and once this has been set up, there will be very little effort on your part and the benefit will be the same. You can set the date and the amount you want to be deposited, such as after your payday, to make the process smoother, and you can even increase the amount if you want to build your savings faster. Try to also get a savings account with a high interest rate that will also allow your savings to grow over time. This is a simple step that will make a huge difference in getting used to saving, and you won't even have to do anything yourself once you have made the necessary changes with your financial institution. Seeing the dollars racking up may also encourage you to implement these other steps to maximize savings in a shorter space of time. Saving up to $10,000 is no easy feat, but with the right tips and tricks, it might be easier than you ever thought possible. It's about combining practical steps with a relentless effort to stick to the routine and always remember why you are trying to get to your end goal. Don't forget to like and subscribe to get more interesting content just like this.